Hi, peeps. I'm Auriel Grace, and this is a spiritual show. So, it's Sunday night. Yeah. Hey, Mom. And tonight's show is really good. It is. Uh, Actually, Saint Lucia is a saint that inspired one of the stories in Goddess Girls, a book that I wrote as part of the Lucy Prophet series. And so I'm pretty excited about this. I actually learned about St. Lucia probably about 5 or 6 years ago. And I've always wanted to talk about her. She's pretty cool. She's this month for December. I'm going to be talking about people who bring the light, who bring it in, spread it around, and it's really good. So that's what we're going to be talking about this month. I'm winding the people up right now. There's going to be some historical people, there's going to be some present day people. And so hopefully you'll like it because I felt like, lately peeps are not feeling that great. So we're going to bring the light. And St. Lucia is an actual light bringer. She brought the light. And although it was a long time ago that she was around, she did help a lot of poor people. All right. So she really did. She decided, yeah, I'm not doing what you said. I'm going to go over here and do this. Now, I do want to let everyone know that I'm not a Christian. I don't claim to be a Christian. I was raised Roman Catholic, and I still believe in the Creator. I think that the Creator's cool, or many creators, however it works out. But I am not a Christian, although I do run across a lot of like saints and martyrs and different historical people when I'm doing research for these shows and when I'm doing research for books. Saint Lucia is somebody that I ran across and I pinned it because I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to work with her a little bit. So there are alternate stories about St. Lucia. So we're going to look at two stories that happened in history tonight, or that were written about her in history. So historically, women, no matter how awesome they weren't really written about a lot because, history is written by male people and they wanted to be the ones, right? So we don't know that much about her, but I did pick the two stories I was able to find about her. So this is it. Okay, but I do have a couple of announcements. First of all, if you're watching on Facebook and this keeps rotating out, you can go to YouTube and watch from YouTube. Just look me up, Auriel Grace. I'm not sure what's going on with Facebook right now with the videos because I've heard from other creators as well. There's a problem. I'm sure they'll fix it sometime. So you can hop over to YouTube and look me up, Auriel Grace, and you'll find the video. Okay. All right. So the second thing is I'm doing $50 Friday on this Friday, 12/12. And so email or text me to book your appointment. You can email me at agangofgirlsinc@gmail.com and I'll book you in. Okay. All right. And Goddess Girls is going up for free on Thursday because in December, I always put the books up for free. It's a Kindle version and it's on Amazon. All I have to do is look up Goddess Girls by Auriel Grace and you'll find it. Okay. All right. So this celebration that we're going to talk about tonight the saint and her celebration did inspire one of the stories in Goddess Girls. And it's because I read the first version of her story in a Norwegian book that was translated. I was like, oh gosh. So it was an old book, but I was intrigued. And so they do, St. Lucia is celebrated throughout the world now. And before she wasn't, but now she is. And I hope you celebrate her day too. It's next Sunday. Just light a candle for St. Lucia because she's the light bringer. All right, then. All right. So they call it a festival of lights and renewal that is connected to St. Lucia. So she was from a wealthy family and she is a Christian martyr. Okay. So she's from Syracuse, Sicily, and she was executed around 304 AD, somewhere in during that time period, 300 to 304. All right. For her faith, because she was a Christian. And the Romans prosecuted Christians. They weren't having it. They didn't want to change the way they were. They believed in different gods. There are a lot of great Roman myths. And a lot of the Roman myths are very, very close to the Greek myths. Well, anyway, so Lucia decided that she wanted to be a nun or a novice. Now, back in the day, they didn't have, like, there were nuns, and but it wasn't organized. So if they decided they wanted to be a novice or a nun, they had to, make vows, but they didn't wear habits or anything. They just went and served, so they served the poor, they helped people, they did great good deeds. All right. So she when she decided to take her vows, and she did, her mom got really mad at her because she was engaged to another wealthy Roman and he was a pagan. So she wasn't having any of that. She was pretty upset with her mom. And so what she did was she found out how much her dowry was, and she figured out how to get that money for herself, and she gave it all to the poor. Her family was really upset with her. So her fiance got all mad. He was mad and he went right to the governor and he said, hey, look what this woman did. I was engaged to her and she just threw her dowry away, and she's now a Christian nun. And so the governor, being the pagan that he was at the time, said, all right then, let's take care of this. So so she was ordered to make a sacrifice to the emperor at the time, to the emperor's image. And she said no, because she was a Christian. Christians don't sacrifice things. Well, yeah, they don't they don't sacrifice things. So she refused. She was like, nope, not doing it. And so the governor condemned her to a life in a brothel. And she was just like, not having it. And they tried to move her from the place that she was standing, and nobody could move her. They even brought oxen in and tied her to the oxen, and they couldn't move her. So then the governor decided, okay, well, we're just gonna throw a stake down here and we'll just burn you right here. Good, right? And they tried to burn her alive, and the flames would not burn her. So the whole time that they're like thinking about her torture and how mean they're going to be to her, she's praying. She's saying, okay, here we go. And she was asking the creator for help, and she kept praying. And finally, the governor ordered somebody to like slit her throat. And so she died praying. Okay. So that's one of the stories. Here's the alternate story. The alternate story is this, is that she took her dowry and she bought food for the homeless and the poor that were living in catacombs, or they were living in poverty. And she left at night, and she would put a wreath on her head with candles on it. And she'd light all the candles so that she could see where she was going while she's carrying the food to the poor. And so the poor were just like, oh my gosh, here's this beautiful lady, this woman of God, and she's come to feed us. And she did it. She kept doing it. She kept bringing food, and they would know it was her because she would wear this wreath with candles on it. And she'd light the candles so that, she could find people. And again, she got in trouble. And then the ending is the same. So Lucia's name derives from the Latin word lux or luce, and it means light. So this connection to light, along with her feast day, coinciding with the winter solstice on the old Julian calendar. And I think we've talked about the Julian calendar and the present calendar. They were kind of a little bit off on the days, right? So during the winter solstice, we have this great festival of lights, and it kind of like what Christians did was they overlapped the pagan celebrations with Christian celebrations. So one is so that Christians could enjoy their celebrations, and pagans also could enjoy their celebrations without too much bloodshed. Okay, so she has become a symbol of light, moving through the darkness until the winter solstice. And then the winter solstice, every day, we start gaining more light. Okay, and so the prominent legend though in the earliest account states that her eyes were gouged out during her torture, or that she removed them herself to deter a persistent suitor. It is said her eyes were miraculously restored before her burial. For this reason, she is regarded as a patron saint of the blind and those with eye problems. All right, so yikes, she gouged out her eyes. Oof. So the feast day is on 12/13 now in our present day calendar. And it's actually celebrated in many places. It's celebrated in the Caribbean, St. Lucia Island. It's celebrated in Norway, Sweden, Denmark, some parts of Britain. It's also celebrated in Italy. And so they celebrate the day by having a parade. They parade her down. And I think, let me see, I have pictures of her. Yes, I do. I have pictures of her. So I'm going to share some pictures of her. She they they have a big altar that they carry around with her, and so they carry her through the streets with lights, with candlelight. And that's how you know it's St. Lucia's Day. So it starts out with a parade, and the parade they parade her around the towns, and then um, let me see. I'm getting the pictures right now of her. They're beautiful pictures. Uh, 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 there she is. And um, and then at night, there she is, right there. See, her eyes are in the bowl. Yikes! But that is Saint Lucia. There she is. All right. So Lucia is a patron saint of the blind, eye diseases, throat infections, writers, and the city of Syracuse, um, Italy. Lucia is often depicted holding a dish or a plate with a pair of eyes on it, and sometimes a lamp or a palm branch, a symbol of martyrdom. Lucia's legacy is one of only 8 women, excluding Mother Mary, commemorated by name in the canon of the Mass in the Catholic Church. So, like I said, they usually have a parade, and they parade her image around, or her statue around. They go through town. And in Scandinavia, or the Scandinavian countries, um, it is like I said, widely celebrated as a festival of lights. People just they, they love her. They bake all kinds of sweets. They give them away. People, women, usually a maiden and her friends, dress in white, and they carry baskets of like sweet cookies or biscuits. And if you're at dinner, they hand them out to the dinner guests. Or if it's like a big plaza or outside venue, inside venue, they go through the crowd in the dark with candlelight going, and they hand out sweets to all the children. So that's that's what they do. They do this all over Scandinavia, and hopefully we'll start doing it here in the United States, because think about it. It's such a crossover. It's so beautiful. And right now a lot of people are craving the light. So this is something that you can do in your community, or you can join in your community and bring the light, right? Okay. So it is a very cherished Advent celebration. All right. So Advent is the season before Christmas. It's the time before Christmas. And there's lots of celebrations during Advent. So there's also places in Syracuse. They light bonfires, and they have torchlight processions held in honor of her, especially in Syracuse, Sicily, where she was born and martyred around 304 AD, somewhere around that time period. Her remains are housed in the Church of San Jeremia in Venice. Okay, so because of Saint Lucia, let me take her down. Um, because of Saint Lucia, we have like traditions now that um, that we practice for this season. Hey, Mary Bowberry, and so Saint Lucia she brought the light. So she brought the light, and now there's like all these great competitions and celebrations. So there's usually for those towns and cities that celebrate St. Lucia, they have like competitions for artists, youths, and adults that create elaborate lanterns from all kinds of materials, right? And they depict the local culture. So, like, if you were, I don't know, if you were in Spain, the the lantern would reflect your area. Okay, so they would build these elaborate lanterns. They're beautiful, and to celebrate the light. Okay, now any candle celebrations that we have during this time of year were inspired by Saint Lucia. And I know that, like, in the Southwest, they have they take candles, or they take lights and they put them in bags, um, or they put them in fancy things where, fancy clay things where the lights come out like stars. Here, I don't know what they do here in the South. Like, there's lots of Christmas lights going up right now, a lot. So the lights that go on your Christmas tree, because she had the wreath and she put the candles on the wreath. We also have the giving of food to the poor. We give food to each other. We bake cookies and we share them. We give them to each other, and cakes and things like that. That was inspired by St. Lucia. Okay. And so giving giving from your heart, she really did try to help people in the short life that she lived. And she made a decision, and she stuck to her decision on what she wanted to do with her life. She didn't care that she was going to marry some rich Roman pagan guy, you know, although she probably could have helped the poor more if she did marry the rich pagan guy. So, my former rector celebrated St. Lucia. Right on. She would dress up as St. Lucia, and she and her daughters would bake special cakes and celebrate. They were of Scandinavian descent. Yep, that's what they did. It's usually the oldest daughter that dressed up, and then her sisters or her friends would, would share the whatever they baked. So it's pretty cool little deal there. So in Wales, they have a big celebration, and people come, and it's at night, and they have candles. Usually they're electric candles now these days. And the maiden and her friends dress up in white with a red belt around their waist, and they hand out sweets to all the children. And that's a procession before St. Nicholas comes, right? So when St. Nicholas gets there, he hands out little toys to everyone. And so that's a really cool celebration, combining it so that everybody gets a little bit of magic from both ends, right? Yeah. So something that you can celebrate next week. If there is a St. Lucia celebration going on, go check it out. Bring in the light, because I feel like this year has been a crazy year, and there are a lot of people that really need that light. They need to celebrate. And so bringing people together and spreading the light, rock on. And she was, she's a patron saint of eyes, and eyes seeing. How do we see the light? We see it through our eyes. Saint Lucia and Saint Lucia's Day is, so usually that's how it evolved. It evolved from, like, okay, with Saint Lucia, and then they said, oh, let's throw in Saint Nick too. And so they they kind of combined it together, and that's how we get the Festival of Light, the whole festival now. So That's the present day celebration. See how celebrations evolved? It's pretty cool, right? So we can make them evolve even more, make them more prevalent so people can enjoy their families, their communities, and they can enjoy celebrating. Like, yeah. So lighting your Christmas tree too. I don't remember if I said that. Lighting your Christmas tree, that's part of it. And also they recently they've added fireworks as well because again, fireworks are like magical, right? Who says no to fireworks? I don't. If I happen to be like out at night, which is rare, um, and I see fireworks, I'm stopping because I love fireworks. So all of these things come together to help us, help us feel good. And she can help you. She can help you feel good. Go celebrate St. Lucia. Yeah, because she's awesome. So, if you can encourage or go to a celebration of St. Lucia or St. Luce, you just have a great time. Bring your candle, bring a battery operated candle, bring a flashlight, bring something with you because the lights are going to go out and then the candles come on. It's so awesome to see that. So, and allow yourself to just enjoy this holiday season. It gives you something else to look forward to. It gives you something to do and also to be with people also who are looking forward to the light. All right. I know this is a very introspective time for a lot of people. A lot of people are thinking about, you know, the past, the present, and the future. And they're also thinking about how they can change themselves from within. This is a great time to do it. And it is also a great time to think about the season and how lovely it can be if you allow it. Okay? So allow yourself, no matter what, to celebrate. Celebrate the season. Be around the people that you love. Share some joy. Okay? All right, so that's what I got on St. Lucia. So I'll be sharing this tomorrow. I'll share my show notes tomorrow so you can see her story and the alternate story of her. And I'll have pictures of St. Lucia also in the blog so that you can check those out as well. She was pretty she was pretty strong, determined young lady. And she decided this is how it's going down. Now, it doesn't mean that in this life, when we make a choice to stick to our beliefs and our connection to creator, that this might happen to you. It just means that she like had discovered her inner faith and her connection to the creator and wanted to live that life. You can have a connection to the creator as well and discover your inner faith without having to be a martyr. All right? Okay. So that's what I got on St. Lucia. I hope you enjoyed it. And it's supposed to snow, 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 snow this week. So for those of you who are experiencing the weather, please stay safe. Stay safe. And have a beautiful week. Remember, keep your hearts open and aligned with the energy of love. I'll see you next week. Bye.